Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently bringing back our ore tanker from Minmus, and we are basically... we're gonna land. It's only a matter of time at this point. So, I'm gonna go ahead and create somewhere around here a little bit of an alternate burn pattern. We're gonna go radial. We're also going to be burning retrograde. That was prograde, but this is retrograde. In order to be... Do we actually need to be going anti-radial? We actually need... I actually don't know. Is this radial or anti-radial? This is radial in. This is radial out. So we need to be going radial out to keep our periapsis at about that 30-kilometer mark is about what I'm targeting for this re-entry. So we just need to burn off as much fuel as we can in this vector. That's too high for the periapsis. But this is going to be... That's actually more fuel than we have. So let's put it to right... There. That's how much fuel we have. Okay, we can continue bringing up that periapsis a little bit. About like that. We'll go ahead and align this, and I'll physics warp that turn. Fantastic. Where even is Kerbin? That's Minmus there. There's Kerbin. Hi, Kerbin. We're coming for you. We're bringing some ore. Fantastic. And then once we get, like, at the edge of the atmosphere, we'll just do a retrograde burn, basically at the... not at the periapsis, but close to it. Probably. Or as we come down to try to hold attitude, maybe. But anyway, we need to go ahead and warp to this maneuver. Or maybe we'll just burn everything here. That's also a possibility. So this decoupler... Oh, we still have these nose cones. Lol. If we get rid of them, we're probably going to destroy these radiators. So realistically, I feel like we just jettison all of this, and then we don't care about getting rid of the nose cones. It's a bit of a thrust to weight thing, but our thrust to weight is honestly fine. Also, our time warp is, or rather, our auto time warp was physics warping, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Here we come, Kerbin. Okay, here we are. This is going to be a burn time of 4 minutes, 6 seconds, so we want to burn this at T-minus 2 minutes and 3 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and warp forward a little bit for that. 2 minutes and 3 seconds, so in about 2 seconds. And now we burn. And we burn off basically the remainder of our fuel. And we may as well retract our solar panels now, because they're blocked by Kerbin. We're coming in night side. And we are currently bleeding off a fair amount of speed. Technically our speed is going up, but that's because we're approaching the periapsis. It's not going up as quickly as it would be if we weren't doing this maneuver. So this is going to get us to a much, much safer re-entry. I don't know if... this still might take 2 aero brake passes, though, with the amount of speed we've got. I don't know. Well, we're going down to 30 kilometers. I think we're actually... I think this is only going to be a single aero brake pass at 30 kilometers, realistically. I don't see a universe where we come back out of this atmosphere at that depth. We're only going 2,900 meters per second. Surely we break orbital velocity. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Regardless, we've still got another 2 minutes and 36 seconds on this burn, and I think... Do I want to physics warp it? I kinda do, but I kinda don't. Because I'm worried about krakens. I'm gonna try it, but I quick saved. Well, we seem to be holding so far. So that is glorious. And we are definitely approaching where we want to be in terms of our orbit. Although, I'm not physics warping in this atmosphere. And we are not holding attitude. Uh-oh. That's not good at all. We did not hold attitude there. I mean, I want to be at retrograde. But we are overheating pretty hard. But I think we may survive this re-entry. Maybe. Maybe. Our parachutes are definitely in danger, but our swivel here? Actually kind of good. It's letting us point different areas ahead at any given time, which is nice. Our speed is going down relatively quickly. I'm keeping these as quasi-heat sinks. Should we extend these radiators? No, they're just instantly broken. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so we are currently about 30 kilometers up. Our speed is dropping quickly. And I think we're gonna be fine. That's my theory right now. The nose cones being there are actually helping us tremendously currently. But our speed is dropping very, very nicely. So right now I'm very glad that I kept the aerodynamic nose cones and didn't eject them. We're down below 2 kilometers per second and continuing to drop quickly. We're currently 26 kilometers above the surface, so we've got a lot of pad time. I'll be ditching these once the aerodynamic effects start to go away. Our attitude isn't great, but ultimately, the only things that burned off are the solar panels. Right? The thermal control systems, other than the one I tried to open for some stupid reason, are all still there. And we're continuing to drop speed very quickly. Once we drop below a kilometer per second, we're going to be pretty safe. And we're getting very close to that. Like, this was not a picture-perfect re-entry, but it's fine. Ultimately. There we go. Atmospheric effects are going to start going away. I'm going to ditch our side bits. There we go. I do want to be at retrograde if we can help it, but as of right now we kind of can't. We're going to need to fire our drogue chutes very soon, and we're coming in fast. Coming in very fast. It was not a good re-entry. Yikes. Too fast for drogues still? still too fast for drogues. 500 meters per second. I thought drogues were fireable at like 800. Since when? Hang on. Let's head back to the Space Center. It feels like those drogues should have fired. Or been fireable at a higher speed, because we were only going 500 meters per second there. Well, that was surface speed, but even so. Let's check this. Was that a bug? As soon as the VAB loads. Utility. Drogue chute. 424 meters per second. That must be a change that they made. Okay, well. I guess that's entirely my fault then. They nerfed drogue chutes. That is something that I need to know then. 424 meters per second. Okay. In that case, I will, on the next run, which we will be doing here in a moment, from the moon, I will target a slightly different altitude. Well, you live and you learn. Okay, so we need to get the moon here now. And then we're probably going to have to send another one to Minmus. I might do that off camera. I don't know. I mean, we're kind of wrapping this up, for sure. Our fuel isn't full here yet. It feels like it should be. Did we burn through all of the ore? We burned through all of the ore. Okay. And these didn't resume their deployment. Well, that's okay. I'll have to warp this, for sure. But I can certainly do that. I'm going to, for right now, go ahead and start this warp. I'm assuming this is going to work while here. Yep, it seems to be working. And this is going to take a while at these speeds. Like, realistically, I may want to turn off this guy. Have to restart these because it jumps and then registers as no ground contact, which is a little unfortunate. But I might want to do this. Actually, realistically, maybe what we should do is we should leave this doing what it's doing, and then let that get finished up, and then send the second ore tanker over to Minmus. And realistically, I kind of want to make a bit of a change to this. I mean, we weren't able to make proper use of the heat shield there, but that's largely because we just didn't have the authority there to maintain. So what I want to do here with this guy is, I mean, we've got this here, this heat shield. We could go with a much larger heat shield. Like, we could theoretically go with the expandable one if we had the tech, which we currently don't. Or we could just say, I mean, you know, it would have been fine if I had just targeted a slightly higher altitude, gone with 2 aero brake passes like I was talking about. So, with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this on up to Minmus, and we'll get this started in this episode. In the next episode, we'll probably... I don't know if... Again, I might land it off camera. I think I'll probably not. But we'll get this started for sure. We do not need to be up this high in thrust. There we go, that'll help. Actually, let's be a little higher. Maybe around here. At least until we are a little bit higher in altitude. But yeah, that drogue chute change is a bit of a big deal, honestly. Because previously, drogue chutes were safe to fire at, like, I want to say 730 meters per second. And now they've dropped it by almost half. I mean, drogue chutes were really overpowered before, don't get me wrong, but that's a big, big change. But with that in mind, we'll just target different altitudes. 30 kilometers was clearly too aggressive, but it would have been fine ultimately. Even with the shoddy re-entry, it would have been completely fine if the drogue chute change hadn't have come in. But it did, and here we are, doing another Minmus mission. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and start our gravity turn. This is very ambitious. Okay, I had to throttle up there in order to get the thrust gimbaling to not pitch over. But we need to hold attitude here. Okay, now we're good. Okay, let's go as we plummet through the darkness at a rapid velocity. Time to apoapsis is not currently decreasing, so actually now it is decreasing. It's decreasing, not increasing, so we need to continue this burn. Now it's increasing. I'll cut throttle once we are at an apoapsis of 75 kilometers. 69, 70, 71, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, once we reach this, we need to go ahead and do a prograde burn to not quite that far, but somewhere around here will do. Go ahead and lock to that maneuver node. We'll get there eventually. And then we're going to burn this at, let's see, 1 minute 40, so at T-minus 50 seconds. I would physics warp, but we're in Atmo, and I do not want to physics warp in Atmo. 67. 68. Almost there. Okay, we are out of Atmo, but we're basically also at burn time, which just dropped to 33 seconds. Okay. That's exciting stuff. I'm going to check this. Yep, 33 seconds. Okay. Going to freeze that physics. And then we're going to burn this at, I guess, T-minus 16 seconds. So I'll warp ahead a little bit. Okay, off we go. Now this is going to burn out our main core here, but that's fine. Going to be switching to our maneuvering stage now, which does have an alternator on it. So technically we don't need to extend our solar panels, but I'm still going to do it. So I'm always paranoid about that nowadays. Okay, we are officially in orbit. Should be good enough. Yep, that's absolutely good enough. I'm going to freeze that tumble. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and set Minmus as our target, and I'm going a little bit over in this episode. No, not the ComSat. I want Minmus as the target. There we go. At this descending node, we will go ahead and add a quick inclination change. That'll do. We'll lock to that maneuver node, and I'll physics warp the turn, and I'll go ahead and put a cut in here. And next episode, we're going to land this guy on Minmus and get him started, getting everything filled up and good to go. And then we will go ahead and grab the guy from the moon and bring him back. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time. As I take a screenshot instead of stopping the recording. I'm a pro at this.